Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
So there's a mountain in California that's called Mount Shasta, and supposedly there's a whole city in that mountain. The legend says that in 1904, a British proctor, the guys that go find gold and stuff, his name was J.C. Brown, and he went to the mountain to go look for gold, and he found a cave, and he went into the cave, and it was actually like a tunnel, and the tunnel went like 11 miles, and he found a whole like little city in there, and then he found like tombs in there, and the bodies in there were like 7 to 10 feet tall. He found 27 of them. They look like humans, but they're just bigger. So he tried to keep a secret, but then he started being like really interested in and started like researching more until like 30 years afterwards, he gathered up like 80 people to investigate it and like excavate it and things like that. On the day they was about to go explore it, he went missing and they never found him again. And a lot of people think that city is still like active. Like there's like not us, but maybe like aliens and things like that.
I've lived in California my entire life, and I have been obsessed with aliens probably just about as long. I've never been to Mount Shasta. I'm gonna have to take a trip next summer.
I was today years old when I found out. As soon as you hit send on 911, it starts recording. Y'all watch this.
Number one thing that stood out to me was the first time hearing the 911 call. The moment you call 911 and hit send on your phone, even though no one has answered and it's just ringing, it's recording on the dispatch end. And the phone is silent. And you can hear the dogs barking in the background. And as soon as dispatch answers, it's this panicked Alec.
911, what's your emergency?
I never knew panic could get cut on and off.
Did you know that? I didn't know that. I thought it was like when they picked up. I mean, you watch TV shows where they play the 911 call and you hear it ringing, but I thought that was just like added in. So they can like tell, okay, is there actual panic happening or are they just like turning it on the second they answer? That's interesting.
Can I blow your mind real quick? Okay, so the word dinosaur comes from... Chris is leaving because we've been fighting about this all day. Go. So the word dinosaur comes from two Greek words, okay? Deinos, which means terrible, and sauros, which means lizard. Okay? Now, dinosaurs lived hundreds of millions of years ago, apparently. And the Greek language is only 5,000 years old. Let that sink in. So either there were Greek people around 100 million years ago, or there were dinosaurs 5,000 years ago. And if you want to go down this and you can look this up, if you want to go down this rabbit hole with me, you start to ask questions like, well, how did they build the pyramids? How did they move giant rocks through the desert? Well, what could pull a giant rock through the desert?
Did he just say that the Greeks named the dinosaurs and that the dinosaurs helped build the pyramids? Because a lot of words come from Greek roots. Like a lot of words. That doesn't make any sense. I disagree. I disagree.
Why doesn't anyone talk about this? Scientists have just discovered a gigantic ocean 430 miles beneath the Earth's surface. Let me break this down for you. They went down 430 miles in the ocean and found an ocean inside the ocean. Does this mean the Agartha theory is real? Just a quick recap. The Agartha theory is that there is a legendary city said to reside in the Earth's core. Because think about it, how can you find another ocean inside the ocean? Everything you knew about the oceans is wrong. The scientists said that you could take all three of our oceans, Atlantic, Pacific, and the Indian, and put them together, and this new ocean is still 3 times bigger. This is what you're probably thinking. So they got to the bottom of the ocean, and then the water ended, but they then find another ocean. This raises a few questions. How do you go 430 miles beneath the ocean? Does the water stop at some point? And now we get to the craziest part. And if there is water beneath the oceans, could that mean there is land beneath the surface?
Now, I am not opposed to the hollow earth theory for the simple fact that we haven't been there. So we don't know 100% what's at the center of our earth. And finding that ocean like that, I mean, it's like denser, I think. And that's why it sinks and it settles right there on that plateau where they found it. But what if you did go through it and that was like the bottom of their ocean? Right? I'm not saying no. I mean, I can't say yes 100% because we haven't been there. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by today. Every day I am learning something new, and this is absolutely fantastic. I love it. If there's something that you think that I don't know, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get it in an upcoming video. If you're having a good time, hit that like button for me and consider subscribing. Then come back tomorrow, because I'm making a new episode every day.
Lots of people are coming out recently reporting that missing objects are being found in places that they couldn't have possibly been. And this is making the news. This is a purely for fun section of the news, but they're saying there's a strange supernatural trend that's happening right now where a lot of people are suddenly finding precious lost objects in places that they had never been before. Like finding a lost ring their dad gave them years later in a random parking lot in a state they've never been to. Discovering photos of their own family in a thrift shop several states away. One woman's grandma gave her ruby earrings as a child, and she lost one of them as a child. She moved from Arizona to Alaska, and when she stepped out of the car in Alaska, she found the missing earring as an adult in Alaska under her foot. Now listen, all of these people could very well be lying. I personally did have ghosts in my house in Japan. I don't care if anyone believes me, I did. And it would steal my jewelry, and then I would find it in random places. There's some jewelry it took that I never found, actually. I would literally place it down, turn around, and it would be gone. Glitch in the Matrix, ghosts, who knows? What do you guys think about this? Follow for more tea.
Personally, I prefer to have my conspiracies with coffee. But I'm a huge caffeine addict. I love this stuff. Can't get enough of it. Anyway, have you ever had that happen to you? Like you put something down and then it turns up like at your friend's house, but you've never had it at your friend's house or something like that? I can't think of a particular instance where that's happened to me, and I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in trans-dimensional light beings. You know me. I'm crazy about them. But what if they're like poking through and like grabbing your stuff and putting it somewhere else, because they can. Maybe it's their way of saying, hey, I'm here. Notice this.
This fucking hit me because I'd be looking at Greta Thunberg and I'm like, why the fuck are we listening to a kid about anything? Right? It drove me crazy. And then I go, holy they're making kids make all the points because you can't tell kids to shut the fuck up or you're an asshole. If you're the adult telling a little girl to shut the fuck up, you don't know anything about the polar ice caps, you're an asshole. So if you just get kids to make all your points for you, the right just got to go, well, it's good that kids are involved in the political process.
That is good and bad at the same time. It's good because it makes a lot of sense. And it's bad because people are using children to get their political point across. That is absolutely ridiculous. Children don't need to be involved in politics. Children don't need to be involved in making life-altering changes either. They need to be involved in playing in the dirt. That's it. Let kids be kids. Stop using children as your platform.
Are you saying Disney don't want anyone to know about Dr. Doom real story?
Yeah, so Robert Downey Jr. is reportedly coming back to the MCU, right? But not as Iron Man. So think about it. Why would they call Iron Man, which was dead, and make him say, new task, same mask? So here's the crazy thing. If you look at the comics, there's some precedent. So there's a storyline called Iron Man, Demon in Armor, from the comic book. So in the book, Tony Stark and Victor Von Doom actually switch minds due to a failed experiment. So you've got Tony's consciousness in Doom's body and Doom in Tony's.
That's wild. So they're setting up RDJ to play both roles?
Potentially, yes. But it gets more interesting. So there's another comic, Infamous Iron Man, where Dr. Doom decides to take up the mantle of Iron Man after Tony's gone. He uses the suit, tries to be a hero, but with Doom's morally ambiguous approach, it's a really intriguing character study.
So they might merge these stories in the MCU.
Exactly, Joe. But here's where it really gets speculative. There's talk that this could be part of a larger multiverse scenario. Imagine RDJ's Dr. Doom isn't just Doom in this universe. He's from an alternate universe where he's always been Doom, not Tony Stark, and now he's crossing into the main MCU timeline. So
that would open up all kinds of possibilities with the multiverse.
Absolutely. It's like a massive chess game on a multiversal scale. There's even speculation that this could tie into a Secret Wars scenario where different versions of characters across the multiverse collide. Picture RDJ's Tony Stark facing off against his own version of Dr. Doom, both played by him. That would be mind-blowing.
So RDJ might come back, but not as the hero we know.
Exactly. Instead, he could be coming back as one of the most iconic villains in Marvel history.
I love it. I can't wait to see what they're going to do because ever since the end of Endgame, I've just been like, what are they going to do? Are they going to bring him back? How are they going to bring him back? I can't wait.
It's crazy to realize how dangerous Dasani water is. If you look at the Dasani water, if you look on the bottle, like in the ingredients, there's, you know this, but
There's 3 ingredients that seem a little bit weird that it's on there. There's salt, right? When you think of something salty, you don't think of water.
When I think of something salty, I think I need water.
Exactly. So why would there be salt in the water? I'm sure there's something behind it, but like that just seems kind of weird to me.
Usually when I eat salty foods, the first thing I'm gonna do is drink water.
This is in a water bottle. You're literally drinking it. The second one is magnesium sulfate. Literally, it's called a drying agent, right? It dries your mouth out. So why would that be in like a water bottle?
Well, it's the total opposite of what you think, because like usually when I have like a dry mouth, and like when everyone at home probably has a dry mouth, you drink water. You don't expect water to give you a dry mouth.
I just don't understand why that's in there.
Well, what's scary is the third ingredient.
Okay, so the third ingredient, right? Potassium chloride. And if you guys don't know, potassium chloride is the last thing they inject in people in death row. So it's used to kill people.
Why put something in the water that we're consuming that could actually hurt us?
Now, I used to love Dasani water. That was like my favorite. And it's because they put all that crap in it to make it taste better and make you drink more of it, right? You get dehydrated a little bit and you drink more of it. And the potassium is such a small amount, and it's a lot. Like an ultra mega dose of potassium is what they use for lethal injection.
You either go to jail or we will kill you. Yeah. Basically, that's what they said. You see, this man sells his company for nearly 9 billion, yeah? After the company buys it, they say there was fraud, you know. This company ain't worth no 9 billion. Where's the other 5 billion, bruv? They write down 5 billion. They take this man to court. Looks like he's going to prison. He beats it. He beats it. Not guilty. Boom. Not fraud. His co-defendant ends up dead. Car crash. Accident. Always check them brakes, yeah? Now he has gone missing, presumed dead. The team that defended him, got him off, they're presumed dead. Anyone connected to that case that helped him out are missing, in danger, had an accident, or dead. So yeah, bro, go to prison or we will use what they said.
We talked about this a couple days ago, and that's pretty much what I said. Somebody at HP was not happy about that, and they're like, you know what? Take him out. What do you think?
There are people that truly believe Scott Peterson is an innocent man. They believe that Lacey interrupted a robbery across the street, and that those robbers then kidnapped Lacey, her, and took her and disposed of her in the exact same place that her husband was fishing that day. Okay? Fishing, mind you, on a boat that no one knew anything about. How would the robbers know to dispose of her in the exact same place where her husband had been fishing that day? What are the chances of that coincidence? Because to me, it's 0 to none that would be any sort of weird random coincidence. Mind you, all the while he was having an extramarital relationship with Amber Frey. I won't say affair, because Amber Frey did not know he was married. That's how good of a liar he is. This man told Amber Frey that his wife was dead before his wife was actually dead. That is some sinister shit. And it was easier for me to listen to his jailhouse phone calls on the Peacock special than it was to watch them because of how eerily scary he looks in those jailhouse phone calls. With all of the evidence, all of the interviews, all of the information that has been given to the public, there is no way that you can convince me that these robbers kidnapped her and disposed of her in the exact same place her husband was fishing.
That's disgusting. I truly believe that this man committed this heinous act. And 99% of the evidence says so too. And if that 1% is enough for them to be like, hey, he's free, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm pretty disgusted, actually. On that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.